Hello everyone, I am DJ Foof. I am going to be helping you with this updated tutorial of Robot Rumble 2. For those of you who have just downloaded this game, presumably that's the plan. I'm going to be walking you through this, and what you just saw me did was pull up the workshop and select build a new robot. And this is going to be what you're presented with. This is your build grid. This is how you make. Actually, I'm going to step back. Step back. This is your build grid. You don't have to worry about the background really, it's not important, it's just there for aesthetic. New chassis shape. I'm going to be building a vertical spinner because they are one of the easiest bots to make for this tutorial. And you want to give yourself some good size room. Because in fact this tutorial is going to be getting outdated somewhat soon, so I'm going to try to update that. So you want to give yourself a decent amount of room. And it doesn't matter what shape you make as long as it's mostly symmetrical. But yeah, so this is our chassis. You just build your shape, make sure it's nice and even, and it gives you enough room. And then you're gonna adjust it down. You want to keep your bots nice and short, shallow, because that'll save you weight in the long run, especially if you're trying to make a lighter weight bot. I'm gonna start with 1.13, well, 0.125. All right. This is the chassis. I hope I shouldn't need to explain much of this. This is to make it to where you're a lot more free flow. I don't like that because that can cause issues. You can smooth out your parts and you can set it to scale. Like if you want to make it really big, scale it up to, well, you can scale it in theory. But yeah, so you don't need to go into the complications of that. You have your collisions here. Just look at the different grids. With this one, you're not going to be seeing much difference because it's a flat shape. Not much to see there. Alright, now let's get really into the meat and potatoes of this. So, now that we've built your chassis, first things first, this is gonna be down by default. Click this to pull it up. This makes it to where you can freeform move things. Or if you select it, it'll make it to where it snaps to a grid. That's good for whenever you're scaling tires and such. And then you have mirror, which will make it mirror across an axis. Your mirror plane, that's going to be which direction it mirrors in. Transparent chassis makes it to where whenever you turn it on, you can see the internals. When you turn it off, you can put things on the outside. And then transparent shapes is for whenever you put shapes on it and have to see inside of those. So first things first, one thing you're always going to need is an RC receiver. You might want two. You might want one for your motor and one for your weapon. But let's start with one to keep it nice and simple. You want to choose a place where it's not going to get hit a lot. Like, don't put it on the edge. That's going to get knocked out immediately. Remember, this is the brain of your machine. And then you're going to go and set it up so it's a bit more than just a box. And for this, you want to turn on mirror and turn off transparent chassis. There's actually a list of motors and such and that I'm going to be putting in the description. I'm going to be planning to remember to put these in the description. Your amp flow series, which is what you see right here. So these smaller ones are more for lighter weights, and these bigger ones are more for weapons or super heavyweights. So for right now, let's keep it simple, because that's something I'm going to say far too many times. And I like how the A4300 looks. And then you're going to select rotate, and then pull this up so you can see which direction you're in. And we need to turn it around because we have transmissions on the outside. And you want to look inside, because if you plan on competing with this, which I suggest you do because competitions are fun, you want to make sure that your bot's legal. So you want to chuck a gearbox on. That's going to make it to where you can change the speed and such. You don't have to. There are some people who can get away with their bots without not needing gearboxes. Okay. Now that you've got your motors down, you need something to talk to them. I'm going to go with the 160A dual motor and just drop it right here. Actually, let's go with a single motor for now. Gonna put one here and one here. That way, you knock one out, oh well, you can still drive with the other. And then, to finish this all off, you want to power something. But first, you gotta check this, okay? So let's just line up your wiring, because this is where you actually connect things. Okay, so you're gonna see right here, 36 volts. That's what the max it can go through. It's 36 volts here, which means you can. I will put one preface. You can you can overvolt your battery, your motors and such. However, it's not going to be good for the longevity of your weapon or your drive or whatever. So what I'm going to be putting in are these LiPos, 37 volts. Whenever we get a new setup where we actually have new batteries and battery drains, we'll have to update that. But for right now, you just need one battery per ESC. Then you're just going to take these. This is out, that's in. Connect that to that. This is out one, and this goes to the motor. Then you're going to adjust these a bit so they're nice and even. Well, really, you don't need it to look all nice and neat and fancy because you don't need to. But then you're going to connect these to the receiver. And you see this is the receiver right here. You want to select, actually, first things first. So that's a mistake you commonly will make. See, I tried to make the wrong motor hooked up to the wrong thing. So that's right motor, that's left motor. You want to connect the left motor, you want to set up the left motor to drive left and right motor to drive right. And then to finish all of this up, you have a few options for wheels. What I suggest beginners do is you take one of these pre-built wheels and just find one that fits you. Let's go with these 5 inches for right now. And drop one on the other side so you can drive on both sides. And there you go. Now you can drive. See? Take it to the test box. That's back, that's forward. Yep, okay, good. Congratulations, you've built your first moving thing. Now, this isn't much to see. You have a lot more to do. But, congratulations! You can drive it now. And we are currently at 7 minutes, so I'm going to show you how to put a weapon in. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is a set of motors that I know work well for weapons. So look, you got this pancake. That's what it's called. It's a pancake E-Tech motor. And make it to where that little drive shaft you see right there. Well, not drive shaft, I believe. Well, I don't know all these technical terms, but that little bar right there. Then you want to hook up. You got a few options. You got a chain transmission, small belt, or you could put a gearbox in or a regular belt. I'm going to go with the small belt transmission because they work nice and smoothly. And then you just go, and this is going to be what makes it to where you can connect your bar. Okay, and then we raise it up a bit more. There we go. Then you're going to connect. I'm not going to be going super into detail with this because you can build your own customs. However, to avoid overcomplicating that, because customs are going to come down the line, like they already exist, but I'm going to be addressing them down the line. So you hook that up there. And then we go to ESCs, because you always need an ESC. And for your weapon, especially if it's a big, strong spinner, you want to put a solenoid in. And then you go into power. Actually, first you check it. You check this to see what each can take. See 72 and 200. I hope you never end up accidentally overvolting your solenoid controller, because in that case you've done something very badly wrong. this is going to be when some math comes into play. So you need to get to 72. However, you can only connect like batteries to each other. So let's go 66. We could go let's go 66 to avoid, because I told you, try to go easy on overvolting. It's going to work your bot a lot harder than it needs to. And just connect that. And this gives me to another point. You have series batteries. Just basically hook up a like battery to another battery, and boom. Now you have batteries that chain, and that's going to make you spin faster and hit harder. Then you want to set this to a single toggle, so that whenever you press space, your weapon spins up. And that's an issue. We can't let it sweep across the ground. However, whenever we get to building shapes and custom shapes and such, we will get to that. However, we've addressed plenty of information in today's video, and I'm going to need you guys to just let it come in, because this is a complicated game. We all realize this is a complicated game, but you gotta learn somehow. I wish you all a good day, and goodbye.